Yeah, it hurts. Hey y'all, it's Mad Wine Chemist, and in today's video, we're gonna be making kit wines. So in the video before, we made wine from grape juice, and now we're moving to what I think is like maybe a step above the very beginner wine to these kits. These kits are provided with everything you need to make the wine except for the equipment, and we'll go over what equipment you'll need later. Let's just talk about these kits real quick. These kits are from Winexpert. They're both Sauvignon Blancs. One is their classic line, which is their lower tier wine, and the grapes come from Chile. And this is their private reserve line. The grapes from this kit are from New Zealand. And this kit takes 6 to 8 weeks to make, and this one takes 4 weeks to make. So after we've gotten both of these made, we're going to compare and see if the price tags on each of these are worth it. I've sanitized all of my equipment I'm gonna be using. I've opened the boxes, and let's first compare what you get in each level. So this is in their classic line. You get your instructions on how to make the wine, then you get the chemicals needed for making the wine. So the biggest difference between the two kits I've noticed so far is literally the same exact chemicals, but you get an extra yeast, and it's actually a different type of yeast, and I'm really excited to see why they chose 2 different types of yeast. The really cool thing I like is it came with wine labels, y'all. Like, I don't have to make my own labels, or you don't have to go around with clear bottles and writing it in Sharpie about what you want. So you can just slap your labels on their wine and go. So let's get into making these wines. So we're gonna start with Sauvignon Blanc Classic, and the first thing it says is to make sure all your equipment is sanitized, and we've already done that. The next thing it says is to add 8 cups of hot tap water to the bottom of your primary fermenter, and then add this packet of bentonite, and then it says stir well. It also cautions that bentonite does not always dissolve well, so don't keep stirring until it dissolves. All right, we got a good stir and mix in on the bentonite and hot tap water. The next line on the instructions says to add the juice. So just pop that cap off. You may need a little assistance with a knife, but guys, this juice smells so delicious. So we're just gonna pour this in the primary fermenter. And remember, you don't wanna pour too fast and waste any juice. So you wanna get a slow, steady pour. So the next step it tells us to do is rinse this with tap water. So we're gonna add a little tap water to this. I'll be right back. So I added the tap water, and it really broke up that sediment that was at the bottom of the bag. So we're gonna get all of that great goodness in our primary fermenter. So this kit makes a 6-gallon batch, and this primary fermenter we have is 7.8 gallon bucket, which is perfect. This is the recommended size for the kit. So we're gonna give this a good stir. Always stir after adding a new ingredient. Now it says we should add in enough water to raise the level to 6 gallons. One thing I'm already noticing is when it's telling you to add more water and bring it up to 6 gallons, right now we're just under 3 gallons with the juice from the grapes. And then we're gonna add 3 gallons of water on top and a little bit more to bring us up to 6 gallons. But again, try to make an even pour so it doesn't slosh around. The reason I was stating that it's just under 3 gallons with the juice, the other kit has a bigger juice bag, so I'm guessing that will affect the quality of the wine we're about to make. But I'm still excited to see and compare the two when it comes to drinking each of these. So I have 6 to 8 weeks, y'all. This is the one thing about winemaking. You have to learn patience. Patience is not my best virtue. A good even pour so you don't slosh your must around. I've made enough wine in this type of bucket to know that the 6-gallon marker is right here at this lip. All right, give it a good stir. Cool thing about this kit is it has places for you to take notes for each day. So day 1, you put the date and then your hydrometer reading. So I'm getting my reading off of my hydrometer and recording it on my day 1. And I have a reading of 1.095. And the last step it says for us to do today is to sprinkle in our yeast over the top. No stirring required. We're just gonna sprinkle that over the top. And now it's time to set it and forget it. Put our top on here loosely. These snap in place, but you don't want to snap it in just yet. So wine assistant, I'm gonna need your assistance getting this off the table. It's ultra heavy. Now we're moving on to the private reserve kit, and I'll point out differences that I see as we go. But the first step is the same as the classic kit. It asks us to pour in 8 cups of hot tap water and mix in our bentonite. And remember, the bentonite may not dissolve completely in the water, but mix well. Then the next thing we want to do is add in our juice. So this is definitely more juice than the original kit. It's super heavy and it definitely has a different smell. So you're getting a different grape. That's the first difference I noticed. Let's see if I'm strong enough, y'all. The struggle. Definitely a different color. This concentrate is a darker color. Oh wow. So look how much more juice you get with this kit than the last kit. So Jeopardy time. I'm going to go get some cool tap water to rinse the sediment out at the bottom of this bag. Put a little bit of water at the bottom of the bag and then shake it up real good, and it'll loosen all that sediment up so that you can pour it into your must. So I want to give it a good stir. And like I was saying, I can tell that this is going to be a different quality of wine straight off the bat. The color is different, the aromas are different. You get more juice, so your wine isn't as watered down. You get a good even pour so you don't splash your must around and lose anything. And as I say that, I do the opposite of what I was saying. Remember, we're bringing it up to 6 gallons. We're getting ready to get a hydrometer reading from this. So we want to make sure we get a good mix to get a more accurate hydrometer reading. So right now I have a lot of bubbles in my hydrometer, and that can sometimes give you false readings. But one of the ways to combat that is go ahead and give your hydrometer a good spin. I'm getting a hydrometer reading of 1.090. So I'm gonna write this on my sheet to take note. And they give you ranges on the sheets of what the starting specific gravity reading you should have versus the ending specific gravity reading you should get. Now we're going to put this back in our must. Be very gentle with our hydrometer. And the instructions said if you have 2 packets of yeast, now is the time to sprinkle both of them on top of our must. And that's what we're gonna do for the final step of today. That concludes our first video of our wine kit comparison. So we will be broken up into multiple videos because it's just too long. And if you wanted to follow along, I would suggest going and buying a kit from your local brew shop, or they have them at online brew shops, and you can find a few of these kits on Amazon. But today's video has been sponsored by Farmboy's Brew Shop in Houston, Texas. Thank you, Landon and your team, for hosting Mad Wine Chemist at your location, giving us a behind the scenes look of what it's like to run your brew shop. So if you're in the Houston area and you're looking to purchase a kit, definitely go out to Farmboy's Brew Shop and tell Landon Jennifer sent you. Thank you for watching Mad Wine Chemist. Don't forget to leave a comment and let us know what type of content you'd like to see in the future. If there's a food you would like to see paired, a wine you'd like to see made. And also, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell for the latest from Mad Wine Chemist. See you guys next time.